In recent years, overtime work, or zangyo, as it's known in Japanese, has become a major issue in Japan. This all stems back to 2015 when 24-year-old Matsuri Takahashi, an employee of one of Japan's largest advertising agencies, Dentsu, committed suicide in an act of karoshi, which literally translates to death by overwork. It was found that Takahashi had committed over 100 hours of overtime work in the month prior to her death. Unfortunately, this issue is ongoing, with a recent survey suggesting that 1 in 4 Japanese companies report having employees that work over 80 hours of overtime work per month. The problem has existed in Japan for quite some time, yet, interestingly enough, I couldn't really find any media that touched on this topic. I tried to find film and TV shows and music, and nothing really came up that touched on zangyo or karoshi. So, to make up for this, I've went out and I've interviewed a few Japanese students here at the University of Georgia, and I've decided to kind of get their opinion on the topic, because I almost wonder if it's just not really a major issue to Japanese people. Is this why there isn't media covering this topic? Well, let's find out. Here are a few of their answers.
First of all, it is really weird that people die from overwork. You know, it's not supposed to be like that. And also, the Japanese people realize, start realizing some problem that we have that is too much pressures from the people in the same working environment, and they have to work until they die or something like that. The first thing that comes to my mind as individual, since I started working next year, I have to consider how the work environment would be or how the culture in the company look like instead of looking at the salaries and those kind of stuff. So that's for me that one thing that should be care about.
A good example should be my father. My father tended to be, he's almost retiring age, but when he was in his youth, he used to work for many hours per day. And then by doing zangyo, overworking gives us a lot of profit, extra money. That's why our family member is kind of big family compared to the average family members of Japanese people. So that's why he used the overwork, and then by doing that, he got enough money to maintain my family members in a good, living standard level. Of course, it is bad, I think, but as a perspective of profit, we can actually get more money, more salary by doing overworking, which is partially good. When it comes to overworking super long time every day, it is of course really bad. It ends up affecting our health directly, and then it might cause us suicide or mental issues, something like that.
All I hear or heard from my friend is that when they work in American companies in America, they would be done by 5 or 6 and be home around 6:30, 7-ish, and have family time the rest of their day. So definitely, but then other friends who already graduated from university and working or first year or second year working in a company, they all had zangyo until 9 or 10. So I definitely see this issue or this zangyo problem is a lot focused in Japan specifically. I think it's the Japanese, generally speaking, Japanese characteristic, they don't really speak up about the problem they see, especially when you're still young in that company. So I think that's one of the problems, and people who are in 40, 50s, that's what they see when they were kids too, when they were looking at their parents, just doing a lot of work until 10, 11 p.m. It just was natural for them to see. So they don't really try to fix that problem. For young generation, they just don't have the way to speak out because they just have a little pressure from the older seniorities problem in Japanese company. they say that like the government like says something to the company that the company has to like make rules or something, but they just say in front of like people our company's like doing this, they're not making people dangyo and stuff, but in reality there's always dangyo happening in Japan. So I feel like there's more problems that they have to fix. I don't think any of the like dangyo problem is fixed right now.